We are live on YouTube.
All right.
We can use the private chat if you have anything to communicate. Thank you.
All right.
Hi, Treasure. Do you mean the registration link?
The YouTube link. So people
Okay,
can
the
join.
YouTube link. Okay. All right, thank you.
Private. So can you just add me to I'm going to
I didn't hear that clearly. Sorry, I should add you to what?
I'm joining to another device, so can you just get the other device, please?
I can't see your other device yet.
That was good still. I'm backstage.
No, I can't see you backstage.
Okay.
I can only see like the 5. Let me go on it first. Going forward, please, can we use the chat instead? Because we're now live. Thank you.
Sure.
right, so we're about to start. All right. Okay, NT is here. All right, all right. Hi, everybody. Good evening, I think, and welcome to the GrowthHackers Africa webinar. You're all welcome. I can't necessarily see everybody. Let me see. If you are here watching us live on YouTube, can you just like drop a hi in the comment section? Let me see if you're here. So that we get started. Yeah. Hi, everybody. So before we introduce the speakers, before we start talking, I want to see if there's anybody here. Anybody? Hi, NT. We're happy that you're able to join. Okay. You are killing my buzz because I'm not seeing anything here. But all right. We'll figure it out. Okay. All right. So say possibly in the absence of any comments, I'm just going to assume that people are actually listening here. And then truth is, regardless, it's going to be a situation where people will be able to what's the word, to follow us on YouTube as they join. So yes, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever it is you're in the world. My name is Precious Odansi, and I am going to be the moderator for this event. So you're basically welcome to GHA's webinar, basically dealing on social media and harnessing the power of it towards organic engagement. And I have amazing. This is a all women's panel. Am I right? This is a totally just women's panel, which is amazing. Yeah, so I think before I read out people's bios and whatnot, before I read out people's bios and whatnot, I just want everybody to do like a quick introduction of themselves. Just let me know, how you're feeling today. Just like give me your name, what you do, just that short. We're still going to do like bio reading and everything. I want to see the vibe with everybody. So I'm going to go as it appears on my screen, which is like Treasure, Susanna, and then NT. So Treasure, how are you doing? Do you want to give us a brief intro of yourself?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Treasure, and I'm doing my best today. I think that's enough. Yeah.
Fair enough. I guess that works. Nice to have you. I think the next person was Susanna. Susanna, are you here? Can you hear me?
Hi, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Hola. Hi, my name is Susanna, and I work in content and grow all of it, or basically the shebang. And
Okay.
I'm excited to be here. Basically, I'm happy to be on this panel speaking about social media growth and how am I feeling? I think I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really great. So let's get to it.
All right. That's good. That's good to know. And finally, NT. I prefer saying NT because I'm not sure if I call your name. If I call your name, I'm going to pronounce it correctly. So over to you, NT.
Yeah, don't worry, it's not just you. My name is Ntongha, but everyone calls
Okay.
me NT. What do I do? I like to say I do a lot of dabbling in the creative arts with a bit of science. But like I just said, at the end of the day, I'm doing my best, my very best. Sometimes it's in content, sometimes it's in product marketing, sometimes it's in social media, sometimes it's in media. But at the end of the day, it's my best I'm doing. How am I feeling? Apart from the fact that MTN was really after my life, I think pretty much okay. And excited to be here. Really, I'm always happy about any opportunity to share my experience and see how that helps anyone else, because that has been like a huge part of my learning and growing journey. Just learning from like other people as well. So excited to be here.
Nice, nice. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. So if you're joining us, if you're live on YouTube, wherever it is you're watching us from, you are currently right now watching GrowthHackers Africa. We're having a webinar basically on social media. Topic basically is harnessing the power of social media, real stories and strategies for driving organic engagement. So it's very interesting. I have like a very unique mix of people on the call, and we're going to just be like going through their bio, so you're able to have a grasp of the uniqueness of commercial going to have today, basically, right? So interestingly, I have a social media manager, I have a content marketer, I have a growth manager here, which, if you ask me, makes for a very interesting pot of perspectives regarding social media. So for anyone that doesn't know anybody yet, I think we're going to display the bios now, and I'll just read it out, and so that you have a bit of context into the angles everyone is coming from and stuff like that. So yes, we will just display that right away. All right, but anyway, let me say, great. All right, cool. So, Ntongha Alagba, she's a product marketer, probably known as NT. She has 5 years experience converting skeptics to brand ambassadors. Her journey in marketing began in advertising, where she worked across a variety of industries, including banking, clothing, and politics. As a marketer in tech, she has worked in SaaS, health tech, travel, and logistics, and she loves working with both B2B and B2C customers. She has thrived in building and scaling product positioning and messaging for brands like SafeBoda, QuickBus, acquired by BuuPass, and Norebase. She's also a video producer, spoken word artist, and script writer. I don't think bios get any better than that. But I think we'll move on to the next speaker. I will see if it does get better. But I think one interesting thing across all speakers here is everybody's like a creative cocktail, which is I don't know. I think it comes with the industry. You rarely get a marketer that is just one dimensional. But yeah, I think we'll go to the next speaker's bio now, so we can do like a proper introduction, and then everybody has context into, you know, the interesting perspectives. All right, cool. So we have Treasure Okure. Please pardon me if I mispronounce that. She's a creative content marketer, and she's a storyteller who brings ideas to life and helps companies achieve their marketing goals. Currently, she works at Selar, where she creates engaging content and facilitates projects to drive product awareness. Beyond her professional endeavor, she's a content creator and writer. In our newsletter, the 20-something newsletter, she offers valuable insights on topics that resonate with the younger demographic. I think with this bio, you can assume that like Treasure is one of those people that is always on the receiving end of Twitter banter as Gen Zs and the workplace and stuff like that. But yeah, it is what it is. Which is a good thing that you have that newsletter anyway. You know, shame the shamers, that kind of thing. So yeah, we have Treasure, and I think we finally just move on to Susanna, and we get a bit of an intro into they did something here that I don't like. So I think one of the things I find interesting the most about Susanna is her name. It's one of our names that I would love to say. And I find it very interesting because I feel like someone interestingly shared a video that I made recently where I said, if you're a marketer, you know, marketing in tech is going to make you like fear God. And I think our name basically just exemplifies that. But hey, we're going to go off the bio that we have. So I have Zara Daniel, and she's a content marketing strategist. She specializes in content marketing and social media marketing and management. She works with B2B SaaS companies to create strategies that drive brand awareness, customer engagement, and retention online. All right, ladies and gentlemen that I cannot see. With that, welcome to my lineup of speakers. My name is Precious Odansi. I am a product growth manager. I think that's basically what explains my job right now, meaning that I'm a product marketing manager and also a product manager. And I am an online nuisance. And I host events and host like webinars like this for friends and family, like GHA that I also belong to. So if you don't know who's powering this, this has been powered by GrowthHackers Africa. That's a community of marketing professionals across industries, right? You have GHA owns that space in bringing together a host of professionals where people get to learn, talk, and build. Anyway, I think I've done enough of introductions now. We are going to go straight into it. So, sorry to my speaker, they share a bunch of questions, but as you can probably assume, me, I have my agenda here. That's what I'm gonna do. But don't worry. It's still within the. It's nothing you guys can't handle. And so the first question I actually have is a just for us to set the tone. So if you notice, you can see from the flyer that we've shared across social media, it says real stories and strategies for driving organic engagement, with social media. So my first thing actually is, when you guys as marketers, when you hear organic, what enters your head? How do you guys feel whenever you hear about organic growth, organic marketing, organic engagement, organic whatever? It could just be a one-liner. So you just say, I just want to get everybody's opinion. When you just hear organic, so let's say your CEO tells you organic, or I don't even know, somebody else in the team when you're doing a report at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter, and they say, organic, whatever. What are your thoughts on that? I like how you're shaking her head. I like that a lot. Treasure, I'm going to start with you. What comes to your mind first when you just hear organic, when you're relating to marketing?
Okay, I think the first thing that comes to my mind is effort, because I think organic anything requires effort. It requires attention. It's not like you don't pay attention, or you don't pay attention when you are, or putting effort when you are trying to grow a product through paid marketing.
Marketing, right.
Exactly, but organic marketing requires a lot of effort and attention, which for us means more work, but it could also mean the opportunity to grow something. And it's beautiful when you see like organic efforts pay off. But yeah, that's the first word that comes to mind when I think of organic.
Interesting. Okay. I think we're getting it. We're getting moving up to a very good start. Susanna, what's the first thing that comes to mind whenever you hear? Please, I want you to be as honest with me. If anybody's saying organic beside you, how does it make you feel?
I think it depends on who is saying it. Depending on who is telling you, it could be no budget. We don't have budget, and we want you to come and do magic. I'm
Right.
going to be honest. It depends on who is saying it, right? I think organic can be different things in different contexts. There are people who will say organic, and it means you're about to stretch your creativity. You're about to go to the depths of how creative you can get. And there are people who will tell you organic, and they don't have the money to push this, and they want you to come and do magic. But again, just like Treasure has said, there is so much room for exploring with organic marketing. There's so much ways to drive growth without any external form of push. It's just you having ideas and being able to build community around those ideas, and being able to build community around the brand, just building it from the ground up. So again, it depends on who is asking.
It depends. Okay, so when you hear organic, the first thing is like, okay, depends on who says it. Cool. All right, cool. MT, when you hear it, what's your thought?
Well, I like what Treasure has said, and I like what Susanna has said. But when I hear organic, based off my experience in this industry, is we don't have any money for marketing.
Okay.
And it now makes everything look like, organic is what you do when you don't have a budget, which is not true, because you need money to do organic marketing. But when somebody comes to me and they're like, we want it to be organic, it's just you don't have money. That's what you should just say, that you don't have money. Stop speaking English that you don't understand. So once I hear organic, I just hear these ones don't have money. They will take your life, and they cannot pay you one, and they cannot even bring the money to do the work. So
Susanna, I'm sorry for this.
Because she said, I mean, it's like, because like she said, marketing is always going to take money. If you want to do marketing, even if you're doing organic and you want to see results, you must put money behind the ideas. Like every single person who has like done marketing at scale that we look at and say, oh my God, I want it to be like that. Even when marketing looks organic, when you deep dive into it, there is money somewhere entering into it. So like I said, it depends on who is asking. And like NT has said, if some people tell you organic, run, no.
Run.
You're about to do presentation for why the idea you presented was not working. When you did, they didn't even support it. They didn't put anything behind it. They're just like, go into the world and do magic.
Go into the world and prosper, right?
Yeah.
I love it. So I was going, when you were talking, you are better than me. You are better than me. Because when I hear organic, I remember I see those like TikTok video, Nibo. That's the first thing that don't bring it to my ear. Like, I'm sorry, you guys are you are very nice. Like, I mean, because so one thing that NT said about like or maybe Church said about effort is like obviously we do sort of organic things, particularly if you're a PMM. Like, so if you are just doing like a drip campaign, it's not like you're paying for the tool, but you're not paying directly for that. It's not like a big campaign per se. But whenever for me, it's just do like this. It's just out. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know, because even if I don't want to pay for something, yes, call it creativity for me. Don't call it. I just want to hear it organic. That's just me. but again, we are very happy that not everybody has my has my opinion about it, because truly it is a bigger conversation, right, than we basically think. So let me get to this straight up, right? And I think I want to go to NT because your experience is actually very interesting. You've worked at SafeBoda, QuickBus and stuff. So because I believe that you have been a part of product launches, because this is like a prelude to another question I'm going to ask. I think I'm going to go next to Treasure after this. So what role do you think social media plays when you're doing like a product launch? So for example, let me give you extra context. So let's say you want to do a product launch now. You have a new product you want to launch to the market. You have your GTM ready and stuff like that. And you have a budget. Typically, how do you spread your money across like board? So I'm asking because sometimes people put a lot of money on doing billboards and shaking it. Then the organic part is only left for social media. Like, oh, think of, go and be dancing, do a dance, do a training kiniko and stuff like that. And they do, even if there's a money for product launch, the way some marketers even approach that is to give the social media person almost nothing to work with in that kind of sense. So I hope you guys can hear me because everybody is focusing on my screen, but okay. But yeah. So what role do you think social media plays a significant role in product launches? And if it does, how have you? Okay, sorry, that may be me. Hold on. Okay. So if social media marketing plays any part, what emphasis do you put on it in terms of even budgeting for a product launch? I hope that's not too much of a question. If you got me.
I think my network is bad because I could barely hear anything that you were saying. But I think that but let me just let me try to say what I think the question is, and then you just let me know.
Sure.
You were asking what the purpose of social media is in a product launch. Like if I want to launch a product, how would I share my budget? And all right, great. So from my experience, right, a product launch and how you're sharing your money would typically depend on where your audience is. Because there are some products that, oh, social media would be what is driving all other aspects of your marketing, and there are others that that's not the case. Take SafeBoda for instance, right? Launching SafeBoda was, for me in particular, quite weird because it was my very first time in Ibadan and it was Southwest. I had been in Lagos, I did not learn any Yoruba, and then I came to Southwest that you're walking on the streets, they're speaking Yoruba to you. I'm like, and being in that space, like working on, oh, we're launching in March and December, and it was just like, you can't be that person who just does high end social media stuff, right? You have to be that person that's able to actually meet the customers we are trying to reach where they are. And this is where you start to look at traditional media. So my segue from advertising into tech via SafeBoda was pretty seamless because advertising had exposed me to like 360 campaign management. So yes, we are looking at above the line, we are looking at below the line, we're also looking at through the line. And if we say, oh, this is where our customers are, right? When I first came, I was like, oh, do we have money? Let's do TV ads, let's do billboards. I'm like, oh, we have money now, we are tech and all. But like one thing that my line manager was very clear about was, what's the most we can do when we by ourselves limit our budget and try to use our creativity to maximize it? And that led to us not being, oh, social media per se, because the people in Ibadan were not, those that we're trying to reach were not completely social media people. They were the ones that would see billboards. They were the ones that would like want to come for like all these like parties and gatherings
Right,
and
right,
just
right.
laws and whatnot. So it wasn't really a let's prioritize social media thing. And it was the same thing at QuickBus, but it was a bit different at Norebase because
Mm,
the people that
mm,
we're trying to reach were a little bit more, I want to say learned, but that's not really the word I'm looking for because it's not like the other guys were illiterate. But there were people that if we needed to reach them, we had to do it
mhm.
online. So
Right,
yes, we
right.
could do like offline, we could do maybe events, but these people primarily spend their time online. So I think
Okay.
knowing where your target audience is actually what drives where you focus. And for Nobis, for instance, because there was some data that showed that, oh, these people, like we have like founders, they're always making noise on Twitter, or you see them out there on Instagram, right? Or see some of them on LinkedIn. We're like, okay, let's even reach these guys and tell them, oh, you can register your company in the US. And apart from the fact that there was that, oh, this is where founders are, there was also the part of this is where small business owners are. They're on Instagram. They're doing Instagram ads for their small businesses, right? So
Mhm,
that sort of influence the direction of let's prioritize like socials for this particular
mhm,
brand.
mhm,
For this particular brand, so that like socials is one of the channels. It's not where we are like we put like maybe 50% of the work, maybe like 30%, and then all the other parts will take others as well. So that's pretty much how
got it.
it has been.
Got it. Got it. Thank you so much. That's actually quite insightful. So basically, I think the sum of what you're saying is that depends on your product and the audience for that product
Yeah,
is going to shape how you do your budgeting. And I
yeah,
think also what you're saying by implication also is, for example, when you are say SafeBoda, you would not have expected so much results from social media. So you know people here on social media market are
yeah,
like, oh, go and bring us 50,000 sign up for a social media post or this kind of engagement and stuff. So that's actually good to note. Where even other social media managers on this call can also understand that, like, yo, what product are you selling? And then does it make sense that there's gonna be huge KPI for you to do stuff if it's not necessarily, if your audience is not there, right? That kind
yeah.
of, so that makes so much sense. Thank you. So I think I'm going to go to um Treasure now. Um Treasure, so in looking at B2B, B2C spaces and social media marketing and stuff. So one of so this is very interesting because this was something that the one of the managers of GHA actually mentioned to me in a conversation. So one of the supposed organic ways to do social media marketing is to look at your competition, right? So What role do you think, or how important do you think competitor analysis is for social media marketing? And this also even extends to like the product as well. So, for example, as social media manager, do you think a social media manager should also be looking at maybe the other organic efforts of their competitors? And then should that also play a role in if you are trying to grow a product? Are you also looking at maybe, do you think, would you advise, right, that they should also like maybe look into how a competitor in any climate, actually, not just maybe the African ecosystem or whatever, should they look into how those people are also doing like their product growth, retention, that kind of stuff? So what's your opinion on that?
Okay, so thank you very much for that question. I don't really have. I've not really worked with people who were very conscious of their competitors, right? I've worked with like 4 to 5 different companies at this point, and I've been able to see that it's very important for you to focus on yourself and what you're doing. I think it's very important to like focus on yourself and what you're doing, because you could be doing essentially the same thing as someone else, but there are a lot of other things that play a role in how successful you get to be. So, for instance, how consistent you are, how you're able to connect with your audience, how you're able to like engage them and drive impact, right? There are different ways in which you can do that. But at the same time, it's a business that you're running, it's not an NGO. So it's very important also to like know what people are doing, right? Not because you want to copy them, because sometimes you can try to copy somebody else and then it will fall flat, but just to know what is happening in the market, and to be able to like, it's important to like listen socially and to be able to like see if there are ways in which you could adopt it. So not from a lens of, oh, for instance, I work in Piggyverse and Carrywise is doing this thing. Let's try and adopt what Carrywise is doing, right? It could work for Carrywise, but it might not necessarily work for you, just because you're different brands. Even though you are trying to um, ship the same kind of product, but doesn't necessarily mean that people see you in that light, right? But then for me, I think I'm very, very interested in how people view themselves and how they focus on what is working for them. Like I work at Selar, right? And we have certain competitors who, sure, like they're trying to like do the same kind of thing, but then there's always something that is very different about their product. And so focusing on yourself and trying to serve the customers that are already in your field is going to do you a lot more good than copying what everybody else is doing. So I don't know if there's like any other angle to that question, but I think it's company first and then other people second. It's cool to know what everybody else is doing, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I've not really seen much results from like copying what other people are doing. I think it's just more important to like focus on yourself and do what you're doing, essentially.
All right, noted, noted. So an offshoot of that for Susanna. So there's something that I personally have observed in tech, where when one company starts doing billboards, other companies will start doing billboards. When one company starts bringing Davido, another person is going to bring Davido. Or no, maybe not Davido, maybe like Whiskey, or stuff like that. And there's that thing sometimes about like social media marketing, also all general marketing that also not specific to social media, also sort of is based off of is based off of what's the word, off of other people and stuff. Now just this kind of scenario, because we also discuss about organ-led marketing in certain places, and a lot of times when there's organ-led marketing, is always is okay. Sorry, I need to choose my adjectives correctly. Organ-led marketing is sometimes driven by what other founders are doing in other companies. Then I've put quantifier that is appropriate now. Good. Now, if a social media marketer is in that space where their guy is consistently looking at the competitor and is bringing a goal that the other part is using paid marketing to do, and asking you to do that in the organic marketing, with organic marketing, how would you approach that kind of situation? So, for example, if somebody is saying, I don't know, maybe a Carrywise has a staff strength of this thing, they are pushing out this number of articles, or they are doing this number of social media takeover or something like that. How would you advise someone who does not have that budget to be able to tackle it? Would you say they should try, or they should not try? Or would them to try organic, what would you do? So that I hope that question is clear enough. But yeah, that's it.
Okay, is that for me?
Yes, Susanna, that's for you actually. Yeah.
Okay. So, first of all, I'm lucky to have not worked in many organ-driven marketing areas, so
Wow.
I might not be able.
Wow, lucky girl. Wow,
I've not
amazing.
really done a lot of organ-driven. I'm lucky to have worked in more like places where your input is respected as a professional in that field. But basically, for when it even comes to your competitors in marketing, or even the people who are in the same industry as you, I would say from my experience, the best inspiration on how to do even organic marketing doesn't necessarily come from your competitors. Surprisingly, if it comes to getting inspired or like, oh, these guys are doing this thing, let me try it. I have never had like that kind of inspiration from looking at what my competitors are doing. Usually I would study other industries, how are they doing it in other industries, and then find a way to tailor it to the industry I'm in, and that makes it look original. It will be like, oh, we're the first to do this in that particular space. And so what people do not know is that there's no idea that is novel in a way. Every single thing was somebody has done it already. Like whatever you're doing now, somebody has done it before. So the only thing that is distinct is your own perspective that you're putting into it and how you're showing up, doing that thing. That's what makes the differentiator. So I'm always like looking for inspiration, because one of the ways you keep being able to be relevant is when you're able to innovate with the times. And how do you find those ideas? By looking at, okay, what's going on in this industry, what's going on in this, because I even say that the best place I find inspiration as a marketer is surprisingly not even in marketing. I always look like industries like music, architecture, art. There are abundance of ideas that you can pull from there. So, but if somebody is saying, okay,
so if you have management, just to rephrase it, if you have management that is keep giving you the same KPIs as being paid marketing and not competition, and they just tell you to be doing organic, how would you approach that kind of situation?
How I would approach that kind of situation as somebody who, I would just be honest with them upfront. We can't get this result, and I would need you to manage your expectations. I would be honest with them. I think that, so maybe in my own experience, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Yes.
So I
can hear me, right? Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I would be honest with them. In my own experience, I have never, I've never had to work in a place where I couldn't share how I really feel about something. So I would take that honesty. I'm just like, we can't get this result because we're not putting the same level of, input that these guys are doing. But perhaps maybe let's try this if we don't have the budget. And if you're willing to put the money, we don't even need to try what they're doing, right? If it's not aligning with how we're positioning, why do we need to jump in to do what somebody else is doing or repeat what they're doing, right? So I think it's just honest conversation. I don't think that is something that I honestly would just tell them. Bring the money.
Okay.
If you want it, bring the money. Yeah.
Okay, well, like that I would say, so they will fire you. But okay.
And I'll work for the competitor. It's not.
Got it. Okay, cool. So sorry if you're just joining us. You are currently tuned to GrowthHackers Africa webinar on social media marketing and real stories and strategies to help you drive organic engagement and growth. And so far we've touched on a couple of topics: consumer analysis, what really organic marketing is to these marketers, and then we'll just segue into other conversations. And just for a bit of context, we sort of expect that everybody that joins sort of understands a bit of social media marketing. So we're not even going to like very minuscule questions. It's more brand management or mid-level kind of conversations here, right? Which leads me to NT's question. So I don't know the structure of companies or the in-house structure you have worked with before. If you are a growth manager or a product marketing manager, and sometimes companies are very different. Sometimes you can have a social media marketer in your team, or it's possible that the team is very into like maybe marketing and you are in product, and then the social media person is on marketing team and stuff. Now, when you have a product launch, or maybe you see that a feature in your product is not getting so much adoption or something, whatever, and you have a goal, you personally have a goal to sort of increase usage or whatever. How do you manage social media marketers or teams that just do stuff on their own time? Let me explain. So sometimes you can say, okay, we need to drive, please. The calendar, yes, you have a calendar, or whatever it is, blah blah. We need to, whatever you are doing, let's streamline into this particular product for this week or next 2 weeks. And people like, we want to do giveaway, we want to do this one. We have a product launch, and then you as a PMM you have basically created the messaging, but the person is using other words. So let's say you're defining a particular product as a luxurious thing, but the person is coming from, whenever they're putting posts on social media, that they are defining it or branding it as a painkiller, as a, oh, if you don't get it, you're going to die, that kind of a thing. How do you sort of coordinate messaging or whatever it is from the angle of a growth manager to ensure that branding of the product is the same across social media platforms and also within the app and also just generally? I don't know if you get my question.
Yeah, I do.
Great.
I think I would say that I've been privileged to not have those kind of issues in my work so far. Even when I was directly responsible for the social media manager. Again, I think part of it is tied to my background, right? My
Okay.
background in advertising, and in an ad agency, when there's a brief, the first thing is let's go and brainstorm. So that has typically influenced how I communicate with like members of the team. Like even if I have an idea, I have to share it with members of my team. I'm like, what do you guys think? Even if at the end of the day, I'll do the bulk of the executing. But I'm very, what do you guys think? How do we move on from here? Such that, and there was something that Babajide used to say at SafeBoda then, right? That when we make a decision as a team, it doesn't matter if at the end of the day, it doesn't pan out.
Right.
There will not be any time where we are pointing fingers and going, I told you so. And that has pretty much influenced how I work with even social media managers. And so for the very last time, or like in my last, or like my most recent role as PMM, I was also social media manager. I was basically everything. So
Jesus.
it was
I'm sorry for
for
that.
everything to be consistent because it was just me. But because I've played key roles in positioning and messaging across different brands, one thing that I've found that works for me, like I always say, is documentation. Because if I have everything documented, you cannot wake up one day and come and do another thing. It will not fly. So I've been
Have you
very,
worked with engineers before?
yeah, don't used to talk to other people. I will just leave them up in prayer, or thunder will fire them one day because I don't know what they are doing. Because me, I'm very, very bullish on documentation actually, such that you know exactly what the tone is. Even up until when I was doing like a, not really like a mood board, but like for video
Oh.
production, for like Norebase videos, right? I was
Mhm.
very particular. This is our brand tone, this is our brand voice, and I worked with designer on this. So the documentation was there. If you're asking, oh, why are you saying things the way you're saying them, I will just point you there, look at it there,
Point it.
documented.
Okay.
So I think that one of the easiest ways is not so easy because documenting will take like a lot from you. But I find that documentation is like one of the ways that you can, at the very basic level, ensure that everyone is aligned. So yes,
Align.
even when we have meetings, I will send you, if I'm the one that is handling that meeting, I will send you what we agreed on via email, not via Slack, so that you will not wake up one day and say, oh, well, you did not tell me. You know, in this corporate world, you have to be very firm. And if not, you will see
You
nonsense.
see shaggy.
So I ensure that there's documentation everywhere. Whatever it is I'm doing, it is documented so that we are aligned. It's clear that we are aligned and we are like on a particular path. So I would say for anyone who is fighting that, if you can hack documentation and you can hack that reporting that we are doing everything via, is either the person will change or the person will get fired because your manager will see it and something will happen. So
Okay. Okay. That's fair enough. So basically, what you're saying is, if anyone is having issues where there's a misalignment in tone from the product then to what is now shown to the outside world, is mostly probably because they can do better documentation, conversations, and probably reporting, which makes a lot of sense. So I think I'll go to Treasure now. So, I want to paint a scenario for you. So imagine that, and I'm saying it because I know places that has happened before. Yeah. So imagine that there's something that you're doing organically that's actually like inspiring engagement, on social media, right? Um, and let's say for whatever reason, management decides to bring in an agency, marketing agency, who is now running, doing something. What? How do you? How have you, or how do you know that people are able to track or separate paid marketing from the result of organic marketing? Because, for example, is that thing where sometimes an agency can come and run something, and they are now claiming the entire numbers, but you have an inkling doing well, but what's driving this particular thing is actually this thing that we contribute, stuff like that. So I want to you could just let me approach tracking for both paid and then things that you do organically and stuff like that. So that's the question, if you get it.
Okay, so just to clarify, because I think your network was having issues.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
so as a social media, or as a social
Marketer.
media person, a content marketer, I
Mm-hmm.
work on a campaign, and it
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of engagement. And after that, the company invites an agency to work
Mm-hmm.
on something similar, and it's gets a lot of engagement as well. And so they want to take the glory for everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
Okay, so
what
like
tools
how
do you use to measure? Yeah, what tools do you use to separate, maybe organic and paid and stuff like that?
I don't think I have much experience on that front, honestly. I don't think that has ever happened to me. I've always been a one-man team, so I don't think it's something I can speak like on a
Ooh, interesting.
on
Right,
a
right. What
qualified.
tools do you use? So what tools do you use for reporting? If that's fine. We don't have to even do what tools do you use
Oh,
for
okay. I mean,
reporting?
I use a lot of the in-app tools that a lot of the social
Oh,
media pages come with. So I mean,
oh
Instagram gives you
really?
tools, but then I also use UTM links because like
Okay, okay.
for Seller, I'm a content marketer, right?
Mm-hmm,
So a
mm-hmm.
lot of UTM links. Google Analytics is very very helpful for me in my line
Okay.
of work. So that's
Mm-hmm.
basically what I use for tracking. But I do feel like being able to track something is a great way to know um from what point something
Mm-hmm.
like from what point things change. And then reporting is very very underutilized. A lot of social media
Right.
managers or marketers
Mm-hmm.
only report on a monthly basis, right? But it's very important that you also report campaign by campaign. So if you're running a campaign and you're done with a campaign, it's important that you report what happened during that campaign and then put a time to it so that you know, okay, after this changed, right? At this point, this is what we got. And then you
Yeah.
can also I try like because I write for blogs, so you know that the numbers
Oh,
also
okay.
change over time if you what's the word, if you update the articles, the numbers also change over time. So reporting for that as well is very important. So I think honestly is that way, and working with sympathetic people as well, and being able to have those conversations because it's not everything you can explain with dashboard and with what's it called with um sorry what's the word with graphs, right? You should be able to have those conversations and be like, actually, we did this, right? Working with sympathetic people is very important because, yeah, we're actually moving the needle as well. It's not every time agents or paid marketing. I think that's how I approach it. But yeah, reporting is very important. And like I said earlier, people tend to approach reporting from a very holistic standpoint where they're like just reporting for everything. But being able to break down what you're
Right,
reporting,
right. Mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
focusing on specific campaigns and focusing on specific metrics is very important. So I think that's how I would approach that situation. Yeah.
Got it, got it. Got it. Thank you so much. I don't know if Susanna is back on the call, but this question is actually for everybody. So I want you to just share a story of an organic thing that you did, something you didn't necessarily. I mean, if you put money, maybe it's very small, right? Or it was just like you actually didn't put money and it just drove engagement. Because we said that this is what do we call it? We said it is we are sharing stories and strategies, right? Can you just tell me, maybe a situation, a product, whatever, that you use a particular creative way to try to drive engagement and it worked? I just want to hear stories now. Susanna, did you hear all the question I asked now?
Yeah, I did. I did. Can you hear me?
All right, cool. Over to you. Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. I think I like this question. So, for like a product or for a goal that we had, I worked on a series. It was a 7-part series,
Okay.
and the goal of the series was to basically break down um, a part of challenges or problems that our target audience were facing, but in bits, in short form.
Okay.
So we used short form content, video content style to turn it into a 7-part series. And each series was kind of like a loop to the next one. And I encouraged you to come back to see more on how you could solve this challenge if you are having this challenge, and how you could just basically breaking down things that we knew was going to be relevant for them. So I had worked on that series because I realized in my experience that one of the best ways to use organic marketing is to create series. Now, what that does for you is it does two things, right? It gives people something to look forward to surrounding your brand, especially when you create a series around a topic that is very, very relevant to your audience base. It's something that they have a genuine need and interesting. And when you're able to do that, it creates a loop, right? People keep coming back because they want to see more of that. They want to see more and more, and keep up with what you're doing. And it also, if it's done smartly, it can create community around your brand. So basically, it was using that series, and we were able to do about over 300K views on that 7-part series. Just on Instagram alone.
Without ads or anything.
Okay, we had a boost at some point, but without
Okay,
ads,
okay.
even
But then it
without
still works.
ads.
Yeah.
Yes, even without
It was
ads, the
still good.
engagement rates were different. Was different than
Right,
compared to other posts,
right.
because now
Yeah.
we also experimented with formats, right? We typically would have carousels and would have static posts, but this one we put a face to it and we had a video series, right?
Right.
So it was
Okay.
another thing. Like, now you're not just watching and getting insight. We had a very well produced video, and somebody's talking to you and breaking things down, and you're watching it as going. And so on that video, before we even pushed ad, and the ad was only on one video actually, the rest videos were doing very well. So I would say that if you want to drive organic engagement around the product or something, your solution, so you could try a series, break it down into a series, and have people come back for more, and just give value over that period. So yeah, that's one experience I can share.
Love it. Thank you so much. I think that makes so much sense. I think I've got to NT now. What story, strategy, or that happened that you used organic marketing to do? I mean, even if you put it later, it makes sense. But yeah.
So for me, I want to share a story from a non-governmental organization, actually a church, because I handled social media for my church for about 3 years.
Ooh,
and
okay.
and there was one particular content that was really, how do I put this? Anyway,
And it was not brothers and sisters should get married, kiniko.
oh no,
What
no,
happened?
no, no. So there was this thing that was going on TikTok, and then I wasn't even using TikTok so much. So even though the person made it for TikTok, the person posted it on Instagram. So I saw it, and one random day, as I was working on scripts for my personal stuff, I was just like, why don't we do this? For context, it was the Hallelujah Challenge. So it was tied to this. I don't
Oh,
know if
okay.
movie Bring It On, like Shabuya, Shabuya, where it was like Hallelujah, ha ha, Hallelujah.
Yeah.
This looks fun. Let's do an entire production of it. So let's get people in Ibadan campus to like mimic pastors all across the globe. So I worked with a friend of mine. We wrote scripts. It was a proper production. We mixed and like mastered audio. And then it was like a proper rap thing. And we then shot videos for it. And when we posted the video, it was the people that were handling comments for social media kept coming to the group chat to say, please, somebody else should log in and help me. Please, my phone is hanging. This. And it was funny because at the end of the day, it was just one random idea that
One
I had.
random
But
thing.
that's something that
Mm.
that if you do something that is relatable, like
Mm.
the audience that you're trying to reach, they can relate with it. They will be the ones that will push it. Because we're now seeing that other people were the ones sharing, like some people were dropping like 5 comments, like, wait, I'm coming back, I'll comment my real comments. What are you people doing? And it just really taught me that ideas can come really from the random places, but like at the end of the day, how you execute also matters. Because I'm very bullish on let's do the best we possibly can. I could have just easily done, oh, let's just do small and just do maybe like we'll not produce it so well, we'll not shoot like with a camera, maybe we'll just use like a phone, and it would have been okay, but it would have been just there. But from
There.
the shooting, the cinematography to the editing, it was now like something that people could actually share and be like, this is excellent work. It's not just fun, it's not just relatable, it's excellent work. I think for me, that's like one of my favorite stories about social media marketing.
Got it. Got it. Treasure.
Hi. Okay, so I think like I shared, I've not been a content marketer at Seller, so I'm going to be using I've not been a social media manager rather
Right.
at
Right.
Seller,
Right.
so
Right.
I'm going to
Right.
be using an example from Founders Connect, which was my previous social media role, and I
Yeah.
think yeah, so I think for me, at some point in 2022, late 2022, we changed our content strategy, right? So initially, I don't know if everybody's familiar with Founders Connect, but what we do is we tell stories of tech founders and operators in Africa. So initially, what we would do was we would post like a snippet of a YouTube video, and we would direct it to and to direct people to YouTube to like watch the full video. But then we soon realized that people do not really have time like that, right? People do not have data as well. Like watching a full YouTube video is something that you have to be very interested in. People usually would watch videos of founders who they already knew or had interest in,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right.
watch videos of random founders that they just
That
saw.
they
So
don't.
what we started doing was that what we started doing was that we started like creating reels. So we started distributing our content through reel formats, and then we started
Okay.
distributing through newsletter format as well, right? Because we realized that it wasn't just enough for people to get content in one format, which was the long form YouTube videos. Right? So we would first get their attention on social media, and then we would like direct them elsewhere.
Direct
If they
them.
wanted to read it, they could read it. If they wanted to hear it, they could hear it. If they wanted to watch the full video, they could watch the full video. And for me, I have found that distribution is one of the most important content tactics, right? Because sometimes content goes to one place and it dies there. But being able to like transfer it through different platforms, through different mediums is so important, because in that way content can be evergreen, and whenever you are tired of like something, you can go back to the past, get something out from there and push it forward to the present. So back to the story. We filmed a couple of interviews, and there was this founder who spoke in one of the interviews. And honestly, like looking at the Nigerian scene, she wasn't that popular, right? She wasn't as popular as a lot of the other founders who we had on the platform. But when it was time to like select the video to use as her reel, I looked at it. There was this segment of the video that I felt very emotionally connected to, and so we decided to make a reel off of that. And that video grew our page by like 5,000 followers. Like people loved it. I think it's still the most viewed video on Founders Connect page. It has like over 300,000 views, and that was
Oh,
just
wow.
because people could connect to what she was speaking about. She was speaking about being a female founder, which is a very emotional topic. And
Right.
that taught me the importance of leveraging emotions or relatability, like Em said, when you're trying to create content on social media, because you do not have to do a lot of work if the content that you're putting is already primed for people to engage with or for people to connect with. Sure, at the end of the day, we still had to like add some money, like for paid marketing, like to just boost it. But like the initial groundwork of ensuring that the video was seen by multiple people was the work of giving ourselves a clip that was very very prime for people to connect with and engage with. So I think like for me it was a very beautiful lesson on how far organic content can go when people just love it, when people just connect or relate with it, right? So that was very 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 impactful and important to me. So I think, sorry, I'm trying to like just like go back to what I was trying to say. I think for me, the most important thing from this lesson is emotions and distribution. Be able to distribute your content, right? And create content that connects emotionally with people. And one more example, Asha Kine. The reason why I feel like Asha Kine has been able to like scale a lot on social media is
Right.
he
Right.
understands humanity and he understands connection. He understands how people, especially Nigerians, if you're trying to sell to a Nigerian audience, care about money and emotions, right? So if you're able to like show people something that appeals to their sense of like humanity, you'll be able to sell on social media. So yeah.
Got it.
Sorry,
That
I
makes
want
so
to
much.
say something. Sorry.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
please. Yeah.
just to like piggyback off what Treasure said, and really what I've experienced, my experience with like organic marketing, um, immediately you've pushed organic marketing and it's on its own going viral, like on its own, the organic post is doing well. That's one of the best type of posts to push paid marketing behind. Those type of posts generally give you much more returns on like your paid marketing efforts. So with organic market, like what she said with the post, once it was doing well on its own, it was a solid post on its own. Putting paid money behind that type of post always gives you like value, on it. But unlike when it's like a post where there hasn't been any form of, traction on it and you put money behind it, you might not see a lot of, value on that. But once organic is doing well, you put money behind it, usually it's such a sweet union. But yeah, that's
love it. Thank you for buttoning, because that's even like I have a few minutes left, but that was actually where I was going to. But I think so far from your stories, that I can recall, Treasure has spoken about like using emotions and all that, relatable content, and stuff like that. NT has basically stuck on jumping on a trend, right? And then quality of production, right? That kind of thing. So what I want to Treasure, please go ahead.
No, sorry.
Okay, got it.
Answer Dara's question, but you haven't asked the question, because the question was like,
right.
How can we do it for B2B, right?
Yes.
Honestly, the best way for me, in my opinion, that I have seen work for B2B marketing is founder-led marketing. I think founder-led marketing drives B2B in ways that people do not know. Founder-led marketing is so impactful, because if you're trying to reach other businesses as a founder, it's one of those ways. The way Precious is looking at me. I mean, I don't think it works for like every product, right?
Exactly. No product. It's like that's if the I have a bit of
I beg to differ.
Exactly. Hey, wait, Susanna, wait. I love it. I love what I'm going to now. I love it now. I want to say that. Let me tell you something. Like, what for? The founder is really. Is that the founder is fine? Or no? Now let's talk about it. It's either the founder is fine, or they have good oratory skills. It's one of the two. Or they already made money. So listen, people want to listen to Ezra because, it's not even Ezra that speaks the most. It's the other guy. I'm sorry. Shola? Yeah, Shola. Yeah. Because they made money. You want to listen to the person that has made money. But sorry, I'm not listening to the point. I'm just going to say,
it's making sense, right? But I just feel like from what I have seen, I think founder-led marketing can be an incredible tactic if the founder himself is a great person, right? Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Why don't I put your...
Can I speak about this? I'm so happy that we got to this part of the conversation. Really, really, because I was hoping we would talk about this at some point. But just like Dara had asked about B2B marketing, something I've noticed, funnel-led marketing has already gotten to a stage of its peak outside Nigeria. Like outside of Nigeria, places like America, they've already they've started maximizing everything you can get.
That's why I mentioned that. Yes.
Yeah. So like here we're still not on the train.
We're still coming up.
Let me tell you something. When it comes to founder-led marketing, right, and why it's so effective, I want to see, and also why it doesn't matter whether, I know aesthetic sells the show. Aesthetic is very important. People like fine things, but what people will really connect to.
Can anyone else hear Susanna? Or is it just
okay? I thought it was me. Okay, so while Susanna is, please, what about founder demarketing?
What about what?
Founder demarketing.
I don't understand. Oh my god.
So I don't have to. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I couldn't. Because I know some founders now, anytime they open their mouth,
it's just nonsense.
I hate their products all over again.
Just nonsense.
Shut up, please.
And the product is never even great. That's
Thank you.
You should keep quiet. You should be begging people. You just open your mouth. Wow, in the public. Oh my god! This ecosystem now. Wow.
FT should please bring Susanna back. But before Susanna comes back, because they have told me I have a few more minutes. So 2 questions. Let me see. Can I squeeze them in one? So okay, let me ask this first. Is there a particular act to virality? Let me explain why. So sometimes we put money into this idea it's going to blow. We spend money on production, it do not blow. Can you guys do you guys think that there's a hack like, oh, if you do this, you're definitely going to go viral? And if there is or there is not, can you share things that can possibly make you go? I know I've shared some. So for example, there's about being relatable. If there's any other one, please share. So I think I'll start with you, NT.
I'm not a huge believer in there's a hack, because I know that there are some kinds of content that you spend time on and you'll be like, this one is going to make it. But there are others that you think they will make it, but they don't. So I'm not really like, I'm not 100% sold on, oh, there's a hack to virality, but I know that like some things that you can do to lead you in that direction is,
Okay.
the very first one is consistency. Because at the
Mhm.
end of the day, even if you go viral, when people come to your page, what are they going to see?
See, okay,
And
fair.
it's basically the same idea around building community. Use Silem King for instance, right? When he first
Instance.
started, he wasn't getting like a lot of views at all. But he was consistent. He did it for years. When his big break finally came, it was not looking like he just came from nowhere. But if you go like to his page, you see all the things that he has been creating consistently. So one way to sort of hack virality is that you have that consistency with your creation. And the second way is that thought should actually go into what you're producing. Your production should not be like Shagba. It should be that you sat down, somebody thought about it and was
Mm.
like, okay. Because you find that even when you go on TikTok, there's some people that don't have great cameras, but you can tell that their content looks like they spent time thinking about it,
Time.
even if it's just grim or get ready with me. You see that they spend some time thinking about it, like, oh, I'm going to show this place, I'm going to show this place. There are some people that do like proper camera angles and like whatnot, but there are also creators that look like they can do a lot better and they're not doing it. But the
Mm,
fact
mm,
that there's actually some kind of intentionality, it may be just the background music, it may be just in the way the content is cut. Like there was something that like I think Hawa was doing not so recently though, because I don't really follow her that much. But when she started doing this her cut and join content, when she got a mic, it sort of made it a lot better, right? And you can see that there's that intentionality in delivery, in production, in execution,
mm,
and that's
mm.
part of what can help you sort of hack virality. At the end of the day, you do your best and you just pray to God in this marketing that we are doing. But
Got
yeah,
it. Got it. Treasure. Is there any, and you can even narrow it down to B2B. What would you advise him like a B2B business or social media marketer to do to able to go viral? Because particularly, I mean, hey, I might have asked into this question. If your product is not that interesting, like if it is very serious, like what do you do to act virality if you are
make it
trying to do
interesting.
organic marketing?
You have to make it interesting, to be
You have to
honest, because there are
okay.
certain things in your product that people are actually interested in. And for some of
Right.
them, it could be a knowledge gap. So
Mm,
it's up to you
mm.
now, which then boils into how you have to liaise with maybe customer experience. What are the questions people are asking you, or the sales team
Asking.
when you're
Mm,
like trying to sell this product. What do they say? How are they like? Where is that confusion point? Where is that pain point? And then you now have to do the work of the education part. But really, it's up to you to make it interesting. It serves a purpose, but we're all human and we want to be interested in stuff. So
got it. Got it. Susie, we'll come to you very soon. Treasure. How can
Yeah,
we act
so
virality?
I don't really like the idea of virality just
mm,
because, yeah, I mean, it's good. Like, I mean, of course, we work in marketing, right? We want our products.
Mm-hmm.
We want people to like our product, right? It's just that if virality does not have the right foundation, it's just okay. Your video had 2 million views. What next, right? And so, like
Mm-hmm.
NC said, you need to have a strong foundation. I do not believe in overnight success either. Most of my favorite creators are creators who have been on the platform for like 11 years. If you look
Oh,
at them,
Robert.
right? The reason why her wedding was everywhere was because she has been creating YouTube videos for like 11 years. And so now people see her and they're like, oh my God, who's this babe? Oh, do you understand? So it's always very important that your content has a solid foundation, that you invest in the quality of your content. That's great. Another thing that I think has worked, well, I don't think it works organically though, is influencer and product combination, right?
Away.
Having the right influencer, right, for the right product
Away.
is very important, and it
Mm,
works. It definitely
mm,
works, right? So, for instance, if you see Tomiki and Motina, you see Tomike and Martina, you can think about Tomike and you go, oh yeah, Martina, and then it blew up basically because that was, do you understand? That was a right fit, right? Another thing that works, and I've seen it work, it's just that, do you really want it? It's outrage marketing. At the end of the day, if you make people angry, they're going to shout, right? But then that's what I'm saying. It's not the virality that you want. No, there's this brand that I think about. It's a US brand. It's called Bread. It's very,
What's that
it's
name?
called bread, like bread.
Okay.
They're a makeup product. And so what they do is that they create like 3 to 5 second reels where they put their makeup product inside like jello, or like they put just random things on it. And people get angry because they're irritated by it. But then their page is growing because, do you understand? They're doing something that makes people talk. But do you want that? No, you don't, because it's not
Yeah, I do.
sustainable.
But I don't know if you're trying to sales, because it's one thing for you to be viral on social media, another time you're not buying it.
Yeah,
But
At
yeah,
the
exactly.
end of the day, it's money we are looking for.
And my favorite example of what I think has been like viral hacking has been iPads. I mean, we saw how they blew up this year. Everybody was talking about
oh
iPads.
no, yes, that's all. Okay, yes, yes.
Yes, and everybody was talking about it, right? And I think it's an
Okay,
amazing case study on being able
true, true.
to use customers to sell your product. So that's another important way that in which you can
So a
viral
great
hack.
product can also maybe having a great product can also help with organic marketing as well.
Definitely, because if you,
Right,
it's like having
right.
a bucket that you're pouring water into and there's nothing under. If the product is not good, it's going to fall flat. Do you understand? A lot of people forget this. They put all the focus on marketing and how bad marketing is or how well you are doing instead of fixing it at like the product angle. Like, is the product actually good? Because it can be relatively easy for you to Precious's faces are killing me. It can be relatively easy for you to like sell when
Yeah,
you have a product. So yeah, like I said, having a good influencer customer combination, customer-led marketing and outreach marketing, even though I do not recommend outreach marketing
man,
for
got it,
anybody.
got it. Susanna, so I think should we continue from the conversation you were having about founder marketing before we go into what acts would you share?
I mean, I think they're all intertwined at the end of the day, but I think we can just continue from where I was talking.
I was only thinking in my mind just now, like something around this founder marketing thing where, for example, there's this brand that that's I can mention that name. Piggy Vest was using one actor guy called Obina. And then Obina will be doing video. Is he had a lot of facial hair, right? And they were like, I want Obina. I want Obina to show up on my Piggy Vest app when I open it, you know. But sorry, not just an aside, but I just he also did that thing where people were sharing it to their friends, like, come on, see this fine, come on, see this fine guy, that kind of thing. And so I was wondering if anybody here, do you ever exploit maybe a fine member of yours come and do videos for you? I
Those type of people work with Nigerian audience. If the person is fine, it's even globally actually. People like fine people.
Yeah,
The
it's a
aesthetic
human
person
being.
is a part of what sells.
yeah.
There's no shame in that.
Yeah.
For example, I will call him out. There's the let me say, a acquaintance of mine that works at all school. His voice is one of the deepest things I've heard in my life. And they're like, we used to use it sometimes during somebody said fine boy driven growth. Okay. But sorry, Susanna, please continue what you were saying.
I think that it's interlinked with what we're saying. It's like driving virality for B2B, or even how to get engagement for B2B driven content. Because I've mostly worked with B2B SaaS products or startups, and every time you have to always be on your toes on what would work. So for me, I've been seeing more and more founder-led marketing and employee-led marketing. Founder-led and employee-led marketing. So I would give you 2 examples of brands that are doing this really well right now that I know top of my head. Last week for my ongoing LinkedIn series, I talked about a brand called Nooks, right? They are a AI-powered sales platform. I'd never heard about them about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And one day I randomly saw the founder on LinkedIn, and he was talking about how, they've just raised their Series B. And there's 1,001 ways you could announce that you've raised a Series B. You could go on your page, put a flyer. We're excited to announce that we've raised a Series B. Thank you to all our partners, etc.
And our investors and our day one customers.
Right? And yeah, but I saw it for the first time on the founder's page. And he created a whole story talking about the journey. He was so excited that he dropped out of school He said he dropped out of school. I think he was in one Ivy League school in America, and he documented how his mother did not have faith in him, but he's so proud that he built this to a point where, you know, they've now done their Series B, and he had a whole story. And now what you do with that story now is, now you're not just making me focus on the fact that you've done your Series B. You're bringing layers to your personality, and you're bringing layers into that what you're building that makes me connect with it. Like, oh my God, you know, the power of being driven, the power of having a vision, the power of going after what you believe in. And that's adding emotion, that's adding context, things that people can relate with, compared to when you just make a bland post. You know, with funnel-led marketing, you bring in a human element that allows us have nuances. Now, if you have human being, you know that they will have challenges, they will have issues with building this product. And now you're creating a conversation around the challenges, the journey to building this product, and building a community as you're going. And so what that does is that by the time you're even ready to launch, you have a waiting audience ready for what you built. Another example, today I saw a video on TikTok. It was a woman, she's launching a, what's it called? She's going to have a matcha store, a coffee store, matcha basically. And she has not opened the store, but they have 14,000 followers on TikTok. How did she do it? She opened an account talking about how I want to build a matcha store. I'm going to fly to this country to find matcha. And then she was doing educational content around, you know, matcha itself, education, then talking about the process of her, you know, why she decided to start this matcha, basically carrying us on the journey throughout the whole thing. And then by that time, people were invested, because now this is no longer about you want to build matcha. It's now about somebody's, you know, we're now seeing the journey. We're now seeing things to be interested. She's now showing us challenges. It's like a story. When you have a story, you want to write a story. You have the opening scene. You have the conflicts, the challenges that is inside that story. And then you now have the resolution, which is the desired outcome. And now with funnel-led marketing, you can create stories. You can create things that people will root for. For example, this woman wants to build a matcha store. What are the challenges she'll face? Oh, the quality of the matcha I bought today was bad. Create a TikTok around that. You know, you have, we're not able to secure a store. This is the challenges we are facing. Oh, we finally opened. Do you understand? So with funnel-led marketing, you really have a chance to connect with your audience outside of the typical marketing. And now another brand that is doing this really well is Beehive. People would say Beehive is this newsletter platform that just came out of nowhere. That just came out of nowhere. Literally, the only thing we've been seeing, I literally started seeing them more and more. So I'm like, what's going on? Everybody was talking about Beehive, right? And I did my own deep dive into what was happening, and I realized that they had invested seriously into employee-led and founder-led marketing. Every single person on the Beehive. If you go on LinkedIn now, search Beehive. It's crazy. You will see the founder talking about it, but not from a place of this is our product, use it. They are talking about it from a place of, you know, their experience is working there. And I think that is very effective, because now you're able to generate interest, because the goal of B2B is not even, we want to just drive awareness that doesn't lead to sales. The goal of B2B is conversion. And the best way that you can get that conversion is to generate interest, genuine interest in what you're building, in the product, the solution you're solving. And another example, I'm so sorry, I have so many examples. Today, I clicked follow on Mark Zuckerberg's Instagram page. Like, I went to, like, you know how crazy that was.
If I followed him, just because of T-Play, why?
And it's like few months ago, or a few years ago, no, I would never have done that, because outside of this guy who is the founder of Facebook, I don't know him. It's just like somebody who is accessible. But suddenly you've seen that they've started introducing.
It's like when like you're about the mom.
You see that all of that is happening.
It's a statue. What's wrong with you? I don't like it. Like,
and now when you go on his page, you know, you're seeing him in a more layered form. You're seeing him as a father, not just the founder of Facebook. You're seeing him as a father. You're seeing him as a lover. You're seeing dimensions to him. But when you go there, you will still realize marketing is happening, because if you go like 1, 2, 3 posts on that Instagram feed, one of those posts is promoting a product, but it does no longer seem like a promotion. It fits into the brand of what he's creating. For example, he was talking about the Ray-Ban glasses, and rather than say, you know, this is the Ray-Ban glasses, it has so and so feature, he did a video talk where he was in a park. It was a fun video, and he was like, I'm going to look for my car, where I park my car with the Ray-Ban glasses. It still fits into that new brand identity they are giving to him. That's another example of founder-led marketing. another very cool stuff I saw he did. Many people will not realize that indirectly he's still promoting his product, but because he's now taking a much more engaging and a approach that we can connect to as humans, it becomes much more engaging to, you know, use this product. For example, he had his daughter. He said there was a post about his daughter writing a story about a mermaid, and he said that he used a meta AI to turn that story into an illustration, and then they had this whole thing. It was really another smart way. So I just think that for B2B, if we want to do it, we need to do more founder-led marketing. Let these founders have layers themselves. Why did the video that MoneyPoint posted a few days ago resonated? It showed layer to them, you know, rather than say, oh, you've reached unicorn status. They showed the emotions, the context, the nuances behind these people. We saw these guys coming, we saw their journey. It started to feel more like something that people could connect to and resonate with. Like, do you know the effort that takes to build a unicorn? And that's just one of the ways I think B2B companies can drive virality, because all of these things eventually tie back to the brand itself. It ties back to the product, to what you're building. And oh God, I think another thing you can do is UGC. For B2B SaaS, micro influencers, oh my God, there is so much gem in that industry for B2B SaaS products. When you work with people who are genuinely in your industry, and they've built an audience of people who have interest in your product and solutions. That's the difference between, you know, when you're just trying to do it organically. With micro influencers or even UGC content, you can introduce your product to an audience of people who care about it. And we did this recently for Doja, and we had a product where we wanted people to take our cyber safety test, and we used influencers to push that idea, or to push that, you know, project, and it did really well. And the whole concept behind it is that people think that for SaaS products, you can only use influencers for B2C products, or, you know, for direct D2C products. But with B2B brands, you need to just find influencers who are in the niche that you are targeting, and give them a very, you know, detailed brief. Let them create that content in a way that still feels organic to them. Another way to push, you know, virality. Another way to get interest in your product. And so those are the two things that I've seen working. And another way that even with a very tiny budget, very small budget, you can get more people. Yeah.
Right. Amazing. Ooh. Honestly, I wish we could still speak. I'm not even saying because I'm hosting this thing, because it was like we now entered the real of the real, right? But hey, it is what it is. But I think we have touched on a lot. Very. I think we'll probably have to have that question about this final marketing P.
Sorry, please. I wanted to respond to somebody saying something, and it's like somebody was saying that Nigerian founders will not agree. They don't need to agree. You just need to find somebody and pay them to do it. Do you know? 2 days ago, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry, because this is something I'm very passionate about. 2 days ago, I saw a job ad that was open for someone to earn $35 monthly. What are they doing? They're helping founders create a presence online. That's all. They'll be responsible for making those posts. They'll be responsible for how the founder shows up. So you can hire somebody. They need to know the importance of these things. If they're open to knowing the importance and investing in it, I tell you to have returns. So if they're not responsive, they don't have to.
See, let me shall I give you the solution. Let me tell you. No. You don't know this one. No. It's not about hiring somebody because you say that which money are we spending, where we spending money. Just compare them. Nothing in this life will get a founder to something. Compare them to another founder.
Oh my God.
You tell them, so can you see what Maya Organ is doing? Do you want that presence? Simple. Just tell this one spend money. No. You don't used to work. You didn't used to work. No. You also see like ask them that if they call founders name, you think they'll call your name? You think about it. Would they nominate you for award? No, they don't know you. You're just there. That kind of thing. So do see your mates. Can you see what your mates are doing on the internet? That's what you should do. I pray if it not work, the founder is not serious. Well for that job. Okay.
Nothing in this world. Hell space for you on Twitter. They'll drag you on Twitter.
Just go and tell them. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've sort of, well, not necessarily end, but we've sort of, sort of one of our speaking points. To be honest, it's going to be an ongoing conversation. If you are not part of GrowthHackers Africa, I would encourage you to follow us on socials. That's on Twitter, Instagram, We also have a WhatsApp community that you can join. I think one of the facilitators will drop like the link on YouTube, or just search for GHA on social media. If you have questions, people, we're actually going to take questions, because actually there's a lot that we can talk about today. But I think to be honest, I still picked up a couple of things that were helpful. Um, for example, if it's at least a new perspective towards founder led marketing. Treasure, you are muted. Though. Are you saying something?
Oh yeah, I said I love founder-led marketing, and Susanna explained very well like why it works.
Mm,
Yeah, you're just doing it with
cool.
the right person.
Cool. Yeah, I'm somewhere in the middle, but it makes sense. Me, anything I will just bring the numbers so that my own salary is not affected and then it's increased. I don't give a shit. If you like, father should show his face, not show your face. If if it's influencer marketing that will bring it, why not? Let's have it. Let's have it. Let's have it. I don't care. But yeah, I think so. So yes, the other thing actually was employee led marketing. I've actually seen that work. I know people that love brands because certain people work there, literally. Um, I know that also even worked for a company I work with and all that kind of stuff. So it's like I think people don't necessarily like harp on that, but Nigerian companies, they are too busy stressing people's lives. Where will you be doing employee led marketing? Eh? When they are begging for salary, I don't even pay them salary in time. That type of thing. So if you have questions, please you can drop it. You can drop it in the comment section, and we'll take it. NT has to drop off. NT, thank you so much for being here. If you have questions, please just type it. We'll take it before we go. But yeah, we're coming towards the end of this. I think whilst we wait for questions, right. Whilst we wait for questions, I think we'll just do the final words. So I think I will start with Treasure. So basically regarding the topic, how would you like to close that? Is there something you want to say to a social media marketer out there, or even a founder out there, on how they look at social media marketing and organic marketing? Let's just do final words. And
Yeah, invest in content. Content marketing is so important. Like,
mm, mm,
and then by that I also mean invest in the content marketers on your team, right? Because content marketing is one of those. I just recently finished being a student, so I know that there are a lot of students who enter like the tech industry through social media, through
right.
content. And something
Mhm,
I see is people just like paying them anyhow just because they don't think it's that important. Like they don't place so much importance on content marketing, right? So it's like it's saturated with people who are on survival mode. And I
mm,
would like Nigerian
mm,
founders to invest more in paying their content marketers, paying their social media marketers, and training them, right? Ensuring that they have the right training, they know the right tools that they need for their industry, because it's very important, right? And see content marketing as, I mean, it's not like product marketing in that you're not like, but then the results are very important. If you look at brands who
absolutely.
have built their content, look at Piggyverse. Piggyverse is one of my favorite examples for brands who have had like a solid content bank, right? You can see how that plays off for them on the long term. It's like growing a tree. You might not eat the fruits today, but you eat the
Immediately,
fruit
absolutely.
tomorrow
Right,
if
right.
you invest in it. So it's very important.
Right, right. Makes sense. Thank you so much. I'd love NC to go next, but since she's dropped off again, so I think I'll just go. Korea together so she can go, but then I think I'll just go with Susanna. Susanna, what would be your parting word for a founder, social media marketer out there who is trying to crack organic marketing, or just generically, actually?
I think my message will really be directed at founders and maybe people who specifically Nigerian founders. I think that I feel very strongly that the Nigerian marketing industry is very restrictive. And maybe it's
Mhm.
from my perspective, because when you see what your American counterparts are able to
Are
do,
doing
those
okay.
innovative things they're able to do, it's just like, I want to do that. We can do that. We have the ideas, but it's just like, it feels like there's a gag on how far you can go with marketing, and that's unfortunate in a lot of ways.
Mm,
So I
mm,
would say that if you don't invest in your marketing, if marketing always comes last in your plans as a founder, you would always have issue, with building interest or retaining interest around your product. Any product that doesn't have marketing, no matter how good it is, no matter how special your features are, how never before seen, you would struggle to maintain that success. You will struggle to maintain
mm,
interest, and you will struggle to build. So no matter So whatever you're building, marketing will always be important. And marketing is more than just posting to social media. There's a lot that goes on into making sure that, you know, a product is perceived successfully online or in the minds of people. Marketing is perception. Marketing is engagement. Marketing is community. There's a lot of things that marketing is, and you need to expand your mind beyond just, oh, we make a post and it goes on social media. That is not what marketing is. And I think I would say for people who work in marketing, for people who work in social media, I would like us to change the mindset that marketing is just for awareness, or even social media marketing is just awareness driven. It can and it should impact the bottom line. There's so many strategies that you can start to take right now that is intentionally driven to impact the bottom line, drive sales, conversions for the company. So whether you're making a post, have goals that you have with this post you're making. Is it for engagement, for building community? You know, is it conversion driven? Use your UTMs, track those posts. I beg you in the name of God, track those posts. Let your numbers reflect that, you know, this is what you're able to impact or bring into the company. Don't let anybody tell you that it's just for awareness, because they'll use it against you. Okay. So yeah.
Thank you guys so much. I'll have Dara come on stage very soon. But yes, you guys, you said the gospel truth, and I'm not gonna lie. I love that Treasure spoke about the money, because that's a big problem in Nigerian industry. The money. I mean, if anybody knows me here, I'm always fighting about money and marketers on Twitter, because fathers don't rest in making sure that we are underpaid. And I will continue to shook it in your eyes that God will punish you if you underpaid people that are doing serious work. And I also like how Susan has highlighted that it's more than awareness. And I tell you, when people ask me if you knew all the things you knew now, what would you do different in your career? It is just do more reporting and tracking. You cannot scale. You can't scale what you don't track. You can't improve what you don't track. You cannot even ask for things if you do not track them. And it's not just for the companies, for you. I think most people, I hope that most people, you get your own satisfaction when you know that this thing I did brought this number. For me, it's a bragging right. I got a 169% increase in revenue for a particular product, and I went to go and put it on Twitter. You can't. Is it beans? If it's beans, go and buy it. Just that kind of thing. So yes. Then also, I think something that was mentioned that I'd love to dip into, but you know, it came out also was community. Community is also a way for you to also push your organic marketing. If you can invest in building a community, sometimes it comes out of marketing, sometimes it's a different job, but however you can, organic marketing can work. It doesn't dispel paid marketing. And I think the best situation is where organic and paid work together in harmony. That's like the best situation, not organic marketing alone or paid marketing alone without creativity. Because you see some people just push money on, for example, why would, I'm sorry, I will close this very soon, I'm talking a lot. Why would there's this guy, Sujimoto, he puts Portable as a brand ambassador. Why would you do that? Why? How does he sell the luxury you are saying you want to? What? You know, that type of thing, like, you know, it's exasperating. It's quite exasperating. You just wasted money on stuff like that. But hey, but see, they took him off after that 6 months. I'm 3 months. But yeah, there's so much more. And please, if you want to come into conversation, please make sure you look for GrowthHackers Africa on Instagram, Twitter, or on WhatsApp, and you'll find us and join. It's a really huge community it's been helpful for me. I'm not going to lie, it's my most active community that I belong to. It's the most active for me. I'm not really a community girl like that. So yes, thank you so much, Dara. I'm going to have you. Thank you so much, Treasure, Susanna, and NT in absentia, for your time and for sharing your expertise with us. I mean, obviously, from the fire of Susanna and also from like the insights that Treasure has shared and from the welfare experience of Ntongha, you can see that there's a whole lot more in streaming marketing. So please don't just think ahead. So one last thing I'll say before Dara comes on stage is, even if that's how you entered marketing, like, it's the easiest thing for you to enter because you don't need to code. Please, it's the job. It's not just an entry path to something bigger. Like, there's actually a life here. Some people are 50 years and they are doing social media marketing because it's big. You can become a senior level management as a social media marketer, content marketer, or product marketer, or whatever. So I don't want to let's bring that. So Dara, please, you can come on stage. Thank you so much to our speakers. I really appreciate your time. Thank you to every single person that made it to this live. If you love this, please share it on your Twitter or whatever, so that people can join our future stuff. Is it Faith? I don't know. I can't see Dara on screen. Let me just say shout out to everybody here too. Tehile, I'm so sorry if I got your name wrong. Madu Anita, Love, Switch, Olamide, Oluwapelumi, Kola Ole Favor, Lauren Toba, and any other person that I may be missing that joined this. And okay, I think I mentioned Love already. And Joel, thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate your time. Yeah. Dara, over to you.
All right. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for the session so far. I think I've been enjoying the session from my own hand. Treasure, Precious, Susanna, Entin, Afseka. Thank you so much, guys, for having this with us and sharing your knowledge, sharing your experience, sharing from your experience, and also the band. I think I've enjoyed the band so far. So literally, GrowthHackers Africa. This webinar basically is brought to you by GrowthHackers Africa, and GrowthHackers Africa is as Precious has mentioned, we're a community of growth operators across both early stage and growth stage companies across Africa. We have guys in fintechs, real estate, e-commerce, health tech, every form of tech you can see, right? Basically just actively sharing their ideas and sharing what's working in their own space as regards growth. And so you can definitely join us on the community. And this webinar is one of many to come. We basically spoken so far about how you can harness growth, how you can harness the power of social media for the growth of your organization, either you're a B2C, a B2B, and basically how you can leverage both stories and the strategies you can leverage in order to drive organic engagement for yourself and for your for your business, right? And so, as I said earlier, this is one of many to come, and one of the things that we're going to be doing next is we're going to be treating a very interesting one that many people do not necessarily see or don't necessarily speak about, right? So we're going to be talking about SEO next. We have a couple of speakers already on board, and we'll be sharing more details about it. When next we have the session. It's coming up the 14th of December, and it will be good to have everyone also join us and basically be able to contribute to the conversation. The registration link for this will also be coming up soon, and if you have registered for this particular session, you won't necessarily need to register for the next because you basically just get the link straight up. Yeah, and once again, I think it's been a very good conversation. If we have specific questions that have not necessarily been answered yet, you can always just write it up again in the comments. I'm basically checking the comments right now. And if you've enjoyed the session so far, you can just comment with your preferred emoji or your best emoji. If you have specific feedback or specific comments for our speakers and our moderator, also please drop in the comment box so that they can also see. I think I've gotten someone on one of the communities that was just basically trying to drive engagement on said like speakers will fire all through. And so if that's the same for you, you can just drop some emojis, some fire emojis, drop some excitement emojis to basically appreciate our speakers and also the moderator. As I've said, coming up next December 14th is advanced SEO, mastering advanced SEO. And so if you are an SEO person or you dabble into SEO or you're a content marketer or you've done anything as regards driving growth leveraging content, you definitely don't want to miss this. We are going to be bringing guys with domain who has like driven SEO to domain authorities of about 70. I think one of the speakers basically I was checking the site he worked on, and I was saying I think about 77 domain authority. So if you are looking at how is that possible, right, or how is that going to happen, right? Please join us on 14th of December to enjoy the conversation, and feel free to come in with your questions. Feel free to come in with the myths that you think should be resolved, or anything that you probably tried out and you see that this has not worked and you want to know what is working. by all means join us, and I'm sure we'll have a swell time together. Okay, yeah, we're going to definitely share the link to join the community in the YouTube section rather. Please with us do that briefly. And also, if you registered, if you signed up, right, you definitely get an email as you guys join the communities too. So please don't miss that email. Just register to the community, and let's have a swell time together. I think that's all for my end. And thank you so much for staying with us so far. Just looking through the comments to see if I'm missing anything. Okay, yeah, so yeah, the link to register for the community will be shared, and we'll go through the normal process for joining the community. I think that's all right here. Okay, alrighty. So, any other business? Not from my end. I think we can call it a day today. Once again, thank you, Treasure. Thank you, Susanna. Thank you, Precious, and thank you, um, NT, for an amazing session. This particular session is going to be available on YouTube, and you can definitely go back to look through it and to learn better, right? If you probably missed some part, I know some people are asking questions about what's FLM, what's CLM, what's ELM, right? You can always just go back to look through it. I would definitely also have we have some blog posts coming up that would recap this session, and also a couple of things that you should definitely know about social media and how you can also further just leverage the power of social media for your own product-led company or the company you're working at. Thank you guys, and we can call it a wrap now. Bye, guys.